You know what's fascinating? We live in a world that constantly preaches depth. Be authentic, they say. Seek meaningful connections. Develop your inner self. And yet, when you look around, you notice something unsettling. The people winning aren't the deepest thinkers in the room. They're not the philosophers pondering existence. They're the ones mastering the surface, playing the game everyone can see, and somehow, they're thriving. Before we dive into this uncomfortable truth, if you're ready to challenge everything you've been told about success and authenticity, hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications because we're about to explore the psychology, strategy, and reality of why being shallow might actually be your smartest move in today's world. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's get real for a moment. The paradox of our time. You've been sold a story. It goes like this: work on yourself, develop depth, cultivate wisdom, and success will follow. Read books. Journal. Meditate. Understand the complexities of life. Be the person of substance in a superficial world. And you've tried, haven't you? You've read the philosophy. You've developed your interests. You understand nuance. You can see multiple perspectives. You're thoughtful, reflective, and genuinely interested in understanding things deeply. Yet when you step into the real world, the job interview, the networking event, the social gathering, the dating scene, you watch as someone with half your depth and twice your confidence walks away with the opportunity you deserved. Here's the truth nobody wants to tell you: depth is a luxury, not a currency. In today's world, you don't get paid for being complex. You get paid for being clear. You don't win hearts by being profound. You win them by being present. You don't build influence through wisdom. You build it through visibility. The economics of attention. Let's talk about the most valuable resource in modern society: attention. Not money. Not time. Attention. You're competing in an attention economy where the average person scrolls through hundreds of pieces of content before breakfast. Their thumb moves faster than their thoughts. They make decisions about people, products, and ideas in milliseconds. In this environment, depth is your enemy. Think about it. When was the last time a deeply nuanced, carefully considered, thoroughly researched argument went viral? Now think about the last time a catchy phrase, a bold claim, or a simple image captured millions of views. The shallow wins because it's accessible. It's immediate. It requires no effort to consume. You might find this depressing, but it's liberating once you accept it. Because if shallow wins, and you're still trying to be deep, you're bringing a book to a billboard competition. The surface strategy. Being shallow doesn't mean being stupid. It means being strategic about where you invest your complexity. It means understanding that most situations don't require your full depth, they require your best surface. Consider your professional life. You've probably worked with people who talk endlessly about their process, their philosophy, their comprehensive approach. Meanwhile, someone else delivers a simple, clean result and takes the credit. Why? Because results are surface level. Nobody sees the struggle. They see the outcome. When you present that project, your boss doesn't want to hear about the 12 factors you considered or the philosophical framework you used. They want to know, does it work, and can you explain it in 30 seconds? The person who can reduce complexity to simplicity wins every time. This isn't about dumbing yourself down. It's about smart packaging. You can be as deep as an ocean, but if you can't skim the surface effectively, you'll drown while others sail past you. Social currency and shallow success. Look at social media, the most honest mirror of human behavior we've ever had. What performs? Surface level aesthetics. Quick hits. Bold statements. Attractive appearances. Simple narratives. The influencer with the perfect feed out earns the photographer with superior technique. The motivational speaker with catchy phrases builds a bigger audience than the psychologist with peer-reviewed research. The person who looks successful attracts more opportunities than the person who actually is successful but doesn't broadcast it. You might call this fake, but here's the reality: perception creates reality. When people perceive you as successful, confident, and put together based on surface indicators, they treat you differently. They give you opportunities. They want to be associated with you. They assume competence. Your depth might make you qualified, but your surface makes you selected. And selection comes before demonstration. The burden of depth. Let's talk about what being deep actually costs you. Every moment you spend understanding complexity is a moment you're not spending on presentation. Every time you consider multiple perspectives, you hesitate where others act. Every internal dialogue about authenticity is happening while someone else is simply executing. Depth makes you slower. You overthink. You see problems others don't see. You worry about implications, consequences, and contradictions. Meanwhile, the shallow person has already made the decision, taken the action, and moved on to the next opportunity. Depth makes you harder to understand. When you speak, you qualify your statements. You add nuance. You acknowledge exceptions. Others hear uncertainty. When the shallow person speaks with absolute conviction about something they barely understand, others hear confidence and clarity. Depth makes you dissatisfied. You see through surface-level pleasures. You question your achievements. You're aware of how much you don't know. The shallow person celebrates small wins, enjoys simple pleasures, and sleeps soundly without existential anxiety. Which life sounds easier? Which person do you think others want to be around? Which version attracts more opportunities in a world that values ease over effort? The dating game. Nowhere is the power of shallow more obvious than in dating. You've probably experienced this: you're interesting, thoughtful, emotionally intelligent. You have depth, complexity, and genuine substance. Yet you watch as someone with better photos, simpler charm, and surface-level confidence attracts more attention in 5 minutes than you do in 5 dates. The uncomfortable truth. Initial attraction is entirely shallow. It's visual appeal, social status signals, and superficial charm. By the time depth matters, the selection has already happened. Nobody swipes right thinking, "I wonder if this person has a rich inner life." The people who succeed in modern dating aren't necessarily better partners. They're better at the surface game. They understand that you need to win the shallow battle before you can even demonstrate your depth. Perfect photos. Witty bios. Confident first impressions. Strategic presentation. You might say, "But I want someone who appreciates my depth." Of course you do. But you'll never get to show that depth if you can't compete on the surface. The shallow person gets the first date. What they do with it is another story, but they got through the door while you're still waiting for someone to appreciate your complexity. Professional advancement. In your career, you've probably noticed that promotion isn't always merit-based. The person who gets ahead isn't always the most skilled, the hardest working, or the most knowledgeable. Often, it's the person who's best at looking the part. They speak confidently in meetings, even when they're uncertain. They take credit visibly, even when the work was collaborative. They network aggressively, even when the connections are superficial. They dress the part, act the part, and project the part before they've earned it. Meanwhile, you're waiting for your work to speak for itself. Here's the problem: work doesn't speak. You have to speak for your work, and if you're not good at the shallow game, the presentations, the networking, the self-promotion, the image management, your work remains invisible. The shallow professional understands something crucial: perception shapes opportunity, and opportunity shapes reality. Get selected for the big project because you seem capable, and you'll become capable through the exposure. Look like leadership material, and you'll be developed as a leader. Appear confident, and others will place their confidence in you. The authenticity trap. You've been told to be yourself. It's terrible advice in a competitive world. Why? Because yourself isn't a strategy. It's a variable. You're different in different contexts, and being strategically shallow means curating which version of yourself to present when. The authenticity movement wants you to believe that being unfiltered and real is virtuous. But observe what happens to aggressively authentic people. They're often broke, lonely, or struggling because they refuse to adapt their presentation to their audience. They insist on depth in contexts that reward brevity. They demand understanding in situations that offer only seconds of attention. Being shallow doesn't mean being fake. It means being strategically selective about what you reveal and when. It means understanding that not every situation deserves or can handle your full complexity. It means packaging yourself appropriately for the context. Think of it like this: you don't wear the same outfit to every occasion. Why would you present the same depth of self in every situation? The job interview gets the professional surface. The first date gets the charming surface. The networking event gets the memorable surface. Save the depth for relationships and contexts that have earned it and can handle it. The energy equation. Here's something nobody tells you about depth: it's exhausting. Being thoughtful, considering multiple perspectives, engaging with complexity, it drains you. Meanwhile, being shallow is efficient. Surface-level interactions require minimal emotional investment. Quick judgments conserve decision-making energy. Simple narratives are easier to maintain than complex ones. Look at successful people in any field. They're masters at going shallow on the things that don't matter so they can go deep on the things that do. They don't agonize over every decision. They don't invest emotional energy in every interaction. They save their depth for the battles that count and stay surface level everywhere else. You have limited energy. Every deep interaction, every complex consideration, every nuanced conversation depletes your tank. The person who stays strategically shallow preserves energy for what matters. They can say no without explanation. They can end conversations without guilt. They can make quick decisions without overthinking. This isn't callousness. It's efficiency. In a world demanding more from you every day, the ability to operate on the surface most of the time is a competitive advantage. Building your shallow strategy. So how do you actually implement this? How do you become strategically shallow without losing your integrity or the depth that makes you valuable? First, master your surface game. This means developing the skills that create strong first impressions, appearance management, confident communication, social calibration, and personal branding. These aren't superficial skills, they're gateway skills that determine whether anyone ever discovers your depth. Second, learn to reduce complexity. Whatever you do, whatever you know, practice explaining it simply. The expert who can make the complicated simple is more valuable than the expert who makes the simple complicated. Distill your insights. Create memorable phrases. Build frameworks that others can easily understand and share. Third, control your reveal. Not everyone deserves your depth. Not every situation can handle your complexity. Save your nuance for people and contexts that have demonstrated they can appreciate it. For everyone else, give them the surface-level version. It's not lying, it's appropriate disclosure. Fourth, optimize for visibility over perfection. The project that's 80% done and visible beats the project that's 100% done and invisible. The idea that's communicated simply beats the idea that's explained comprehensively. Show up, be seen, be remembered. Refine later if the opportunity demands it. Fifth, embrace strategic superficiality in relationships. You don't need deep connections with everyone. Maintain surface-level relationships with most people. Be pleasant, be memorable, be easy to interact with. Reserve your depth for the small circle that truly matters. Here's what this all comes down to: the world has changed faster than our values have adapted. We're still operating on old rules: depth wins, substance matters, authenticity triumphs, in a new game where attention is scarce, decisions are quick, and surface-level signals determine who gets selected. Being shallow pays because it meets the world where it actually is, not where we wish it would be. It recognizes that most people, most of the time, are operating on limited attention and making rapid judgments. It understands that initial selection happens on the surface, and if you can't win that battle, your depth never gets its chance to shine. This doesn't mean abandoning depth entirely. It means being strategic about when and where you deploy it. It means building a strong surface that gives your depth a platform. It means accepting that in a world of infinite options and limited attention, the accessible wins over the complex, the clear wins over the nuanced, and the visible wins over the invisible. You can judge this reality, or you can use it. You can insist the world should value depth more, or you can recognize that the people thriving today are the ones who've mastered the shallow game while maintaining depth where it counts. The choice is yours. Stay deep and frustrated, or learn to swim in shallow waters while keeping your depth in reserve. Either way, the game continues, and the shallow players are winning. The question is, are you going to keep playing by old rules, or are you ready to adapt to the world as it actually is? Your depth will always be there when you need it. But first, you need to get selected. And selection happens on the surface. Now go out there and play the game that's actually being played.